What's up, fight fans? Welcome to my channel. This is Johnny, and in today's video, I'm going to be going over some interesting and developing news regarding the back of the house, per se, of the boxing community. Now, this story started developing on my end just last night when I was researching the video I released for the 154-pound division. I was getting to a theory about what's the best next move for Bud Crawford, and that led me to the title fight on the undercard of Canelo Alvarez at 160 pounds between DSG, Danny Swift Garcia, and Eris Landry Lara. So when I got to Lara and Garcia's BOXREC, I can't find the title fight when you look at the bouts, right? If you go to any upcoming fight on BOXREC, you could see the fighter's record, and then if they have an upcoming fight or any of the fights, you could click on that hyperlink, and then you'll see an icon for bout info. Now, in that bout info, if it's a title fight, it'll tell you what title it's for, the IBF, WBC, WBA. This is where the story started developing. I knew that Lara has a belt. He has the WBA belt, but it wasn't showing up on BOXREC. So I started doing a little bit more digging. And this is where today's video is interesting. And I get to Canelo Alvarez's, and he doesn't have a belt next to his name either. And then I start finding this story that I find on Reddit. And I'm going to start here and just roll with me for a bit. If you thought BOXREC's rankings were a bit strange, get ready for this. The newly revived FAX boxing data site, which is reportedly heavily backed by Turki Al-Sheikh and the Saudis, has Canelo Alvarez shockingly low ranked at number 36 super middleweight in the world. That means the FAX site has Canelo Alvarez at 36, so there's 35 other super middleweights ranked higher. Whereas the recognized record data keeper of the sport, BOXREC, has Canelo ranked at number 1. That's quite the discrepancy, right? You started thinking to yourself, what's going on here? It is obvious that FAX hopes to take over BOXREC as the official record keeper, but I doubt they will get very far with this very nonsensical rankings. And I continue the story. The WBA, and guys, this is why I couldn't find belts next to Lara, and this is why I couldn't find the bout info on BOXREC for the Lara Garcia fight. The WBA, the oldest recognized sanctioning body in boxing, has been stripped of its recognition by BOXREC, the sport's official record keeper. And here's why. This unprecedented move by BOXREC follows allegations that the WBA scraped the fight data, layouts, and fighter photos from BOXREC's site to establish a partnership with a competing entity, raising serious questions around intellectual property rights. Meaning, guys, that the WBA partnered up with FAX, and FAX and the WBA went into BOXREC.com with their data and analysis and scraped all the data when creating their new website. It saves a bunch of time if you've ever done anything like this, and it's almost like copying and pasting all the years of data that BOXREC has collected. It's like a digital library. Copy and paste, put it on FightFacts.com. All right, I continue. The WBA's decision to revive FAX, a lesser-known competitor that had been dormant since 2011, was announced during the WBA Asia Convention in Vietnam, marking a significant shift that had been quietly in the works for months. FAX's return began with the relaunch of its social media in January and a new website on April 24th, coinciding with the WBA's announcement of a partnership with Turki Al-Sheikh, a prominent Saudi sports promoter and advisor to the Saudi royal court. This partnership appears to be part of the WBA's broader attempt to reshape boxing's record keeping. However, critics have pointed out that the new FAX website closely resembles BOXREC's, raising accusations of data theft and concerns over the integrity of the information provided. In June, Brunch Boxing reported that the Saudi-backed public investment fund was considering a buyout of BOXREC as part of a larger effort to reorganize the sport. However, recent developments suggest that Turki Al-Sheikh, through the WBA, may be attempting to replace BOXREC entirely. This move has caused confusion and concern within the boxing community, particularly as it leads to absurd outcomes like Roberto Duran no longer having held the WBA lightweight title according to BOXREC. Guys, and that's what I mean. If you go to any of the champions who once held WBA titles, it's no longer even listed. So confusion on guys like myself, content creators, confusion on people like yourself, fans, confusion for fighters, confusion for promoters. I'll continue. Since becoming the sport's official record keeper, BOXREC has operated independently of the four major sanctioning bodies and maintains a partnership with the ABC, the Association of Boxing Commissions, the governing body of boxing in the United States. This has solidified BOXREC's position as an unbiased and reliable source for boxing records. Despite the gravity of the situation, neither the WBA nor BOXREC has made any public statements addressing the controversy. Guys, and the reason why this is so serious, a couple different things. You have the fraud, you have the data stealing, the information stealing on one end in regards to the scraping of the data, but then you have the legitimacy of the history books, the facts of the history books, and the current rankings regarding fighters. When you go to FAX and see that Canelo Alvarez is ranked 36 in the world and BOXREC has him ranked 1, you could fill in the blanks on however you think that's controversial. The facts are this. That's an issue when there's a disparity like this. Stay tuned. I'm going to be continuously reporting on this story as more information comes out. It is developing.